Hey Samfam, today we are going to discuss about audit time limits with regards to CA final. Even amendment portion was covered here. With no delay, we'll just quickly dive into and check all the 86 time limits that were given in the audit whole syllabus. Supplementary audit. Supplementary audit has to be conducted by whom? C&AG. Within how many days? 60 days. It has right to do supplementary audit within 60 days from date of receipt of such audit report of that PSU. SLR requirements. With regards to SLR requirements, the auditor has to check that the SLR requirements were complied for 12 odd dates in different months of a fiscal year, not being Fridays. They have to check for that also. Technical reviewer need to have a 15 years of after post qualification experience as a chartered accountant and currently active in practice of accounting and auditing. Dividend. Within 30 days, he has to pay from date of declaration. The company has to pay dividend. Premium deficiencies is with regards to the insurance company, where if the insurance contract that was had happened, where the cost for that insurance contract was more than the unearned premiums, that is negative NRV. For that, it has been for that for 4 years, then that insurance contract has to be valued by actuarial or technical valuator. And with regards to policy surrender is like surrendering or putting down our RFD. Like that policy holder, what do? He could surrender his insurance policy, but for that, in order to surrender his insurance policy, the policy should be 3 years old in order the policy holder to surrender. Operational audit. Operational audit was done in the entity for at least 3 years once. For at least once in 3 years. Under Rule 12 of Income Tax Act, if a chartered accountant who is acting as authorized representative, knowing it to be true, had submitted information that is false to a sing officer, then he is liable for rigorous imprisonment, which may be extended to 7 years plus a fine. And actual evaluation is that's what they're talking about the here, a premium deficiency. With regards to fraud reporting, the auditor has to, within 2 days, shall communicate with the board or audit committee and seeking their reply in 45 days. And after he got reply, within 15 days, he has to submit to the central government and inform ADD 4. And with regards to the cost auditor appointment, cost auditor has to be appointed within 180 days from the day commencement of financial year. He will be appointed till 180 days from the expiry of the closure of that financial year. And after the appointment, within 30 days, the company shall intimate to central government. And the change in constituency with regards to registered network, that accounting firms and all, they register with regards to a particular network with the council. Then the network shall communicate the same to the institute by filing Form C within a period of 30 days from such change. The network has to communicate with the institute. Then audit of claims, where with regards to KYC documents, they have to be intimated to the policy holders within 15 days of such intimation. They have to say any discrepancies if there were with regards to the KYC documents that were given by the policyholders there. And with regards to Section 278 of Income Tax Act, where if the auditor would have evaded the tax or penalty or interest that exceeds 25 lakhs, then imprisonment should be not less than 6 months. That is minimum 6 months, which may be extended to 7 years. But if it is 25 lakhs or below, then minimum 3 years to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, 3 months to 2 years. If it is more than 25 lakhs, 6 months to 7 years. And with regards to the limits which were not being reviewed with regards to the bank overdraft or cash credits, where was that is, if the limits were not reviewed within 180 days, that is once in every 180 days, if they were not reviewed, they were regarded as an NPA. See, the reviewer should not be having any kind of pending litigations or pending proceedings with regards to last 3 financial years on him, and she not rendered any kind of services in the last 3 financial years with that unit. And ACB, that is Audit Committee of Board of Bank, shall decide the maximum tenure of external auditors, and generally the tenure would be not more than 5 years, that is up to 5 years, but a single concurrent auditor shall not continue for more than 3 years in a single branch. Don't get confused with this 5 years and 3 years. A bank consists of so many branches. If a bank has appointed a concurrent auditor for a branch, it should not continue till more than 3 years for that particular branch. He has to transfer to another branch for the remaining 2 years. And with regards to Section 88 of Income Tax Act, no person shall be or represent an SC, that he should not be a representative of SC if he is dismissed or removed from government service or got convicted or installment or convicted of with regarding to any fraud, and 10 years have not elapsed from date of conviction. And policy lapse and revival is with regards to the policyholder is not paying the premium amount, then the insurance company had given some grace days, like grace period of 15 to 30 days to repay. Even in that period the policyholder is not paying, then that policy would be lapsed, that is discontinued. If that discontinuance, that lapse was for 5 years, for more than 5 years, then it is not allowed for revival. That policyholder, that policy would not be revived. And the appointment of a board of directors or manager, shareholder approval must be taken at next AGM or within 3 months from the appointment of that board of directors. And with regards to temporary deficiencies, like you see, the drawing power had exceeded the sanction limit for a period less than 90 days, would be a temporary deficiencies. With that, you cannot classify that account as an NPE. They're talking about the same thing here. And with regards to review cycle, how often the unit has to take quality review is, of the audit firm is having 20 partners or more, 3 years, 10 or more, 4 years, and if had less than 10, for once in 5 years. And with regards to punishment, with 447 is if it's a fraud, that is at least a minimum 10 lakhs or minimum 1% of turnover, whichever is less here, whichever is low, minimum 6 months to 10 years. We have seen the same time frame of imprisonment with regards to amount of tax evaded with 25 lakhs, right? More than exceeds 25 lakhs. Yes, the same thing. And if it's minimum 10 lakhs and public interest was involved, the minimum imprisonment is 3 years, not 6 months, 3 years. And with regards to if the amount was less than 10 lakhs and less than 1% and public interest was not involved, then the maximum imprisonment they could give is 15 years. Minimum could be 10 days, 7 days, 21 days, or any sum, not 6 months. And with a fine which may be 550 lakh rupees. Here, if there were at least minimum of 10 lakhs, the fine would be the amount involved in fraud, or which may be extended to 3 times of the amount involved in fraud. And with regards to the professional reasons accepting, I think you would read this. This is not so much important. Why I have given is with for this definition of undisputed sick unit. Sick unit is something unit registered for less than 5 years, not less than 5 years. That is, it has more than 5 years or more age, incorporated 5 years or more, which has end of the financial year accumulated losses equal to and exceeding its entire net worth. It's a sick unit. And with regards to peer review board, the term of two-third members shall be for 3 years, or end of the member on which it is earlier, whichever is earlier, then the chairman and vice chairman of the board may be rotated every year. And with regards to NBFC report, NBFC has to do what he has to. NBFC has to submit a certificate that it is eligible for holding that certificate of registration, which was signed by statutory auditor. To whom it has to submit? He has to submit a RO of the Department of NBF non-banking supervision, under which it has got registered within 1 month from date of finalization of balance sheet, not later than 30th December. This is 30th December. Make sure this is not 31st December. And with regards to quarterly compliance of corporate governance, that is 21 days from the end of the quarter. And with regards to direction tribunal, where if auditor had involved any kind of fraud, what they have to do, the tribunal after application of CG may within 15 days may inform the company that he shall be discontinued as an auditor, and CG will, if wanted, want to appoint the auditor. And we'll auditing the balance with RBI. What do we have to check? We have to check whether any other debit or credit entries that were originated in the statement provided by RBI remained unresponded for more than 15 days has to be checked. And with regards to section 27, they're talking about the resident or actively involved auditor. That's what the same thing was similar to the in resident director in the company. 182 days have to be 180 days. Here also he needs to reside in the place where office is situated for not less than 182 days in order to hisab. And 15 days is with regards to the company shall inform the auditor concerned about his appointment, yeah, and also file a notice to the appointment within register within 15 days. After the appointment of auditor, the company shall inform the register within 15 days. For the cost auditor, to central government within 30 days. And with regards to LFR is submitted by statutory branch auditors and statutory central auditors, and within 16 days they have to submit to the RBA. Cooling period under 447, we have seen that the auditor is involved in fraud, right? For that, he would not, there was a cooling period given that when he got liable under 447, he will not be appointed as an auditor for a 5-year period. And disabilities for the purpose of membership is that you could read that simply below age of 21, he's unsound mind, insolvent, and got convicted from competent court, whether India or outside India. And submission of cost auditor report. Cost auditor report has to be submitted in form CRA 4 in XBRL format by company within 30 days. All communication with regards to cost audit for company and central government is 30 days only. And disqualifications of auditor. Disqualification of auditor is with regards to the relative holding security or interest in the company whose face value exceeds 1 lakh. You see, relative is holding, but the corrective action has to be taken by the auditor within how many days? 60 days. Free look cancellation. Free look cancellation is an option that was given to the policy holder when he disagrees to the terms and conditions in the policy agreement. And the insurance company will give 15 days for the policy holder in order to accept or reject that free cancellation period, that is when terms were changed, etc. The peer review scope. Statement of peer review aims to confine the scope of peer review for preceding 3 years. You see, this peer review is confined for 3 years. For investigation, you can go how many years you want. Approval of name of networks among the firms registered in institute. When an institute, when an accounting firm or auditing firm enters, submits an application in Form A with institute, the institute shall approve or reject the name within the network or not, with address. And with regards to CFS, you see the financial statements of the parent entity and its components or subsidiary entities has to be same. But if the time period was very low, they may give adjustments to only few significant adjustments. What that adjustment, if it's following AS, that gap should not be more than 6 months. And if it's following Ind AS, that gap should not be more than 3 months. And we'll now stop it here, as remembering all the time limits in one go is very hectic task for you. So we'll discuss the remaining time limits and board limits and all the remaining monetary limits tomorrow.